Hi guys, welcome back to Math with OG. In this video, we'll be looking at laws of binary operation, and there are just three: commutative laws, associative law, and distributive law. Before we go into that, if you are yet to subscribe, kindly hit the subscribe button and don't hesitate to like this video so that I can reach more people. Now for a commutative law, the law is simple. Whenever you have A operation B to be equal to B operation A, we say that the operation is commutative. Whenever A operation B will give us the same value as B operation A, the operation is commutative. So whichever one is coming first will not alter the result. We say it is commutative. So therefore, we can say addition and multiplication are commutative. 2 plus 5 is the same thing as 5 plus 2. Commutative. 2 times 5 is the same thing as 5 times 2. Commutative. However, 2 minus 5 is not the same thing as 5 minus 2, so subtraction is not commutative. Similarly, 2 over 5 is not the same thing as 5 over 2, so division also is not commutative. Next is associative law. For associative law, A operation B in bracket operation C will be equal to A operation B operation C in bracket, just the way you can see it. You can see these two is in bracket operating on C is equal to A operating on these two in brackets. You see that the operation is associative. Same fashion, addition and multiplication are associative, division and subtraction are not associative. So if you have 2 plus 3 in bracket plus 5, this should be equal to 2 plus 3 plus 5. This will give you 5 plus 5, 10. This will give you 8 plus 2, 10. So you have the same value. Similar fashion, 2 times 3 times 5 is equal to 2 times 3 times 5. This will give you 6 times 5, 30. This should give you 15 times 2, 30. So it is correct. However, 2 minus 3 minus 5 will not be equal to 2 minus 3 minus 5. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Minus 1 minus 5 is minus 6. 3 minus 5 is minus 2. 2 minus minus 2 is 4. As you can see, minus 6 is not equal to minus 6 is not equal to 4. So subtraction is not associative. Lastly, 2 divide 3 divide 5 is not equal to 2 divide 3 divide 5. So in this case, we are going to have 2 over 3 all over 5. So this should give us 2 over 3 all over 5, which is equal to 2 over 15. While in this case, you are going to have 2 over 2 all over 3 over 5, which will give us 10 over 3. So you can see that division is not associative. So that's for commutativity and associativity. Now, next is distributive laws. For distributive laws, this has to do with more than one operation. So you will say an operation is distributive over another operation. So for distributive law, A operation, B operation, C must be equal to A operating on B, this operation A operating on C. So whenever this law holds, we say that the operation is distributive, and your multiplication is distributive over addition and subtraction. No other arithmetic operation is distributive over the other two operations. So I can prove for multiplication. For multiplication, if you have something like this, 5 into 2 plus 3, it is the same thing as 5 into 2 plus 5 into 3. So that's what we are talking about. 5 times 2 plus 5 times 3. So you can say that 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Or 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 10 plus 15 is 25. So it is actually distributive. You can also have 5 into, let's say, 7 minus 2. So this should be the same thing as 5 multiplied by 7 minus 5 multiplied by 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 2 is 10. 35 minus 10 is 25. So you can see that multiplication is distributive over addition and subtraction. So now that you know that, so at the back of your mind, you always remember that addition and multiplication are commutative, addition and multiplication are associative, and multiplication is distributive over addition and subtraction. Now, let's play with these questions. The first question here said investigate whether or not the operation, this operation asterisk, defined by A operation B is equal to the maximum value of A and B is associative. So we have to check, investigate whether or not this operation is associative. And to check, we have to check if it will obey this rule. So it's if it obeys this rule, it is associative, but if it disobeys this rule, it is not associative. So I believe that should be an easy task for us to do. So what does associativity state? It states that A operation B operation C, so let's put this in bracket, is equal to A operation B operation C. So let's pick values. Let's pick values to check if the left hand side will be equal to the right hand side. So let's pick let's say 2, 3 and 5. So 2 operation 3 operation 5. So we can still obey Bodmans here. Solve bracket first before we solve for 2. So what is 3 operation 5? The operation states that A operation B is the maximum value of A and B. So what is the maximum value of 3 and 5? It's obvious that maximum of 3 and 5 is 5. So 3 operation 5 should give us 5. So this will now be 2 operation 5. So I've done this operation maximum value, which is 5. Now what is 2 operation 5? 2 operation 5 similarly is the maximum value of 2 and 5, and that should give us 5. So I've solved in the case where B operation C is in bracket operating on A. Now if this is equal to A operation B in bracket operating on C, we can see that what we have is associative. Remember, A is 2, B is 3, and C is 5. A is 2, B is 3, and C is 5. So we can do the same thing here. A is 2, B is 3, and C is 5. Now in this case, we have to take 2 and 3 first. So what is the maximum value of 2 and 3? The answer is 3. So we have 3 here operating on 5. Now what is the maximum value of 3 and 5? The answer is 5. So the answer here is also 5. So you can see that A operating on B operation C in bracket is same thing as A operation B in bracket, A operation B in bracket operating on C. So since they are the same, I can see that this operation here is associative. So that's how you check if an operation is associative or not. Now the next one, we have to check whether or not this operation here is distributive over this operation. This operation is distributive over this operation. So let me wipe this part of the board. Now for that operation to be distributive over the other operation, it means A operation B operation C should be equal to A operation B operation A operation C. So this is what we should have. A operation B operation A operation C. So let's check if the left hand side will be equal to the right hand side. So let's pick values 2, 3 and 5. So 2 operation 3 operation 5. So we solve the bracket first. What is 3 operation 5? This particular operation states that we should look for the minimum value of A and B. So what is the minimum value of 3 and 5? The minimum value here is simply 3. So we have 2 operating on 3. Now this operation is different. This operation states that we should look for the maximum value of 2 and 3. So what is the maximum value of 2 and 3? The answer is 3. So this is giving us 3. So we have to check if this will give us 3. If this gives us 3, then what we have is distributive. That means this guy is distributive over this. But if this does not give us 3, it means that this guy is not distributive over this. Remember, A is 2, B is 3, and C is 5. So we have here 2 operation 3, 2 operation 5. Now what is 2 operation 3? This particular operation states that we should look for the maximum value. Now the maximum value of 2 and 3 is 3. This operation states that we should look for the maximum value. The maximum value of 2 and 5 is 5. Now we are left with this operation. This operation states that we should look for the minimum value. The minimum value of 3 and 5 is 3. So you can see that they are the same. So since they are the same, you can see that this operation is distributive over this operation. So that's that for laws of binary operation. You can see it's quite straightforward. If there's any part that was a bit tricky, you can leave that in the comment section below. And if there's any part you think was not correct, also leave that in the comment section. So if you enjoyed this video, kindly use the like button, kindly subscribe, and also share to friends. Thanks for watching once more. In our next video, we'll be moving on to identity elements. So after that, we'll move on to inverse of elements under a particular operation. Thanks for watching once more. See you guys in my next video.